It started with a single text. "Hope you enjoy your vanilla latte today." Emily was standing in line at her usual cafe. She stared at the message, a chill creeping up her spine. She hadn't told anyone she was here. She glanced around the cafe, her eyes scanning the faces of strangers, but no one seemed to notice her. Shrugging it off as a weird coincidence, she ordered her latte and went about her day. That night, as she curled up on her couch with her blanket and started re-watching an old favorite, her phone buzzed again. "Don't stay up too late binge-watching. You've got work at 8 a.m. tomorrow." Her stomach dropped. She hadn't told anyone her plans for the evening. Her blinds were drawn, her doors locked. She quickly typed a response. "Who is this?" The reply came almost instantly. "A friend who cares about you." She blocked the number. Over the next week, the messages continued, each from a different number. Every text felt like a knife twisting in her gut because of how specific they were. "Love the blue pajamas you wore last night. That lavender candle really sets the mood. You didn't finish your dinner tonight? Was something wrong?" She felt violated, as if someone were watching her every move. She started sleeping with the lights on, double-checking her locks, and keeping a kitchen knife under her pillow. One morning, she woke up to something even worse than the texts. There was a sticky note on her bathroom mirror. It simply read, "You look so beautiful when you sleep." Emily's heart raced as she scanned the apartment. The windows were locked from the inside, and the front door bolt was secure. How had someone gotten in? Panicked, she called the police. Officers inspected the apartment but found no signs of forced entry. They suggested it might have been a prank and advised her to install a security system. She immediately set up cameras throughout her apartment. The first night with the cameras, she hardly slept. She kept watching the live feed on her phone, waiting for something, anything, to happen. When she woke the next morning, she reviewed the footage. At first, it was uneventful, hours of her sleeping peacefully. But at 2:47 a.m., the footage showed her bedroom door creaking open, slowly, deliberately, but no one was there. The door stayed open for a full 5 minutes before closing again. She called the police again and showed them the footage, but they dismissed it as a possible draft or camera malfunction. That night, she received another message. "You don't need to call the cops, Emily. I'd never hurt you." Determined to find answers, Emily hired a private investigator named Dan. Dan scoured her apartment for clues. On his second visit, he noticed something strange in her bedroom closet. A section of the back wall sounded hollow when tapped. He pried the panel off, revealing a hidden crawl space. Inside was a nightmare, a dirty sleeping bag, food wrappers, and empty water bottles. Polaroid photos of Emily, taken while she was asleep. But the most horrifying discovery was a notebook. The notebook contained dozens of entries, each one detailing Emily's life in unnerving detail. Monday, she came home at 6:15 p.m. after work, had pasta for dinner, watched her favorite show. She laughed out loud at the funny parts. It's cute when she does that. Friday, she wore the green dress today. It's my favorite on her. She should wear it more often. Dan turned to the most recent entry, written just hours earlier. 2 a.m. Watched her sleep again. She seems restless tonight. I should leave her another note to let her know I care. Emily's stomach churned as she flipped through the pages. The final entry made her blood run cold. 12:15 p.m. The investigator arrived. He's poking around too much. I don't like him in our space. I'll deal with him if I have to. Dan froze. "Emily," he said in a hushed tone. "We need to get out of here." As they hurried to leave, a loud crash echoed from inside the walls. Emily screamed as Dan drew a flashlight, aiming it at the crawlspace. For a split second, they saw a pair of eyes staring back at them before disappearing into the darkness. They ran outside and called the police, who conducted a thorough search of the crawlspaces. They found signs that someone had been living there for months, but the person was gone. Emily moved out immediately. For weeks, she felt like she was finally free. But then, the texts started again. I miss you, Emily. Your new place is nice, but I like the old one better. This time, she didn't reply. She deleted the message and threw her phone across the room. She never opened another text from an unknown number. But sometimes, late at night, she swore she could hear faint footsteps in the hall outside her new apartment, footsteps that always stopped right in front of her door.